Hi there and welcome. My name is Andrew Dodds, and today we are going to be taking a look at how you can use Fillout, connect it to your Airtable base, and allow people using that Fillout form to see calculations before submitting their information. So imagine someone's applying for a loan or needing to see some aggregated information. We can actually surface that in a Fillout form and also capture it on the other end in Airtable. So if you've been looking for how to use Fillout to do calculations and give your users a good experience in the form that they're looking to submit information to, this video is for you. We're going to jump right into it. Here we go. So let's think about a use case here really quickly. Maybe we want, we're running a grants organization, and we want to understand for a given period of time, a fiscal year, we want to understand what the revenue, expenses, and net income of an organization was, okay? And so what we're going to do here is I've got a really simple Airtable base that's going to ask to collect the organization name, the total revenue, total expenses, and the net income, okay? And so obviously this net income amount is something that we could run as a calculation off of total revenue and total expenses, but we're actually going to set it up slightly differently, and I'm going to show you how it works. Now, the very first thing that we're going to want to do is connect Fillout, so I'm going to show you how to do that. If you don't have a Fillout account yet, go ahead and create one. It's free, and it is the best free thing you'll ever use. It's also one of the best paid things you could ever use. So highly recommended. We're going to use a blank form. You can, of course, design these as you wish. And we're going to call this the finance form. And I'm going to show you how you can connect your Airtable account. So you're going to go into the integrations here. You're going to click on Airtable. You can connect a new account. If you already have yours connected like I do, you're just going to go ahead and select the base you want to use. For us, I've called the base calculator, and you're going to select the table. So pretty easy there. We're going to use this create record function, and we're going to go ahead and finish the setup. So when you come over to the editor canvas here, you'll see that you've got fields on the left-hand side, and these are fields that are in the Airtable base. So remember, we have organization name, net income, total expenses, total revenue. Now, we definitely want them to give us the organization name, so I'm going to drag that over. But what Fillout also allows me to do is to pull in elements that don't exist in the Airtable base, and these are all sorts of different field types that we've got access to. Now, what we want to do is we want to allow them to input multiple line items that may go into total revenue, right? So there might be 3 or 4 different places that a company is getting revenue from, and we want to allow that. Now, we don't necessarily want to capture all of that detail in the Airtable, but we want to sum up all of those sort of buckets to a total revenue line. So I'm going to show you how we do that. And really, we're going to pull these currency fields over, okay? And so let's go ahead and name a few of these. So we're going to have sort of like regular income. This is going to be somewhere where they input their regular income. Then maybe they've got investment income. And then maybe they've got just a category of other income. And what we want to be able to do is total up what they're putting into these revenue fields so that we can get a total number. And not only do we want to have that total number come back into Airtable, we actually want to show it to them in the form. There's a couple different ways to do this. The very first thing you've got to do is learn about Fillout calculations, which are absolutely amazing, and they are in this area in the logic section here in the bottom right. So there's 2 pages to this logic. There's logic, which is sort of like the flow of the forms. We're not covering that today. We are interested in the calculations, and we're going to add a new calculation. We want to name this calculation total revenue. Okay, and we're going to choose the type. Either it's going to output a number or it's going to do text, and we're doing a number, of course, and we're going to create this calculation. Now, we need an initial value. We could actually reference initial values in previous steps in a form if we wanted, or dynamic values, but in this case it's easy enough just to say start with 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a new rule, and we want this to always happen, so we're going to toggle that on, and we're going to say, what I want you to do is add this current page's regular income field to 0. So if someone inputted 10,000, our number is now 10,000. Okay. Now we're going to add another rule that's always true, which is we also want to add from the current page the number in the investment income. And similarly, down the way here, we're going to add other income. Okay. And what we're left with is a nice little calculation that we can reference in future steps by at total revenue. Pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and click done on that calculation. This is now something we can reference in our form builder. And so once someone's filled out regular, investment, and other income, what I'd like to do is I'd like to call attention. So I'm going to use a banner. I'd like to call attention to their total revenue number. Okay, based on what they've entered. Okay. And we can change this color to green, and I'm going to go ahead and in the text here use the @ sign, and that's going to pull this up, and I'm going to go to a calculation, and we're going to use the total revenue calculation. Okay, so now we've got this. So let's take a look at what this does for us. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and we're going to go visit the form. This is what the person would see if they logged on, and let's go ahead and call this the test organization. We have a regular income of 20,000. We have investment income of 5,000, and we have other income of, let's say, 2,000. Okay, $27,000 in total revenue. Now here's the thing. None of these are tied to Airtable yet. Now you'll remember if we jump over here, we do have a total revenue. And what we would like to do is to write the amount from this calculation into that field. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that now, because if I was to submit this now, nothing would go into Airtable other than this organization name. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at how to do that. So going back to the Airtable field, now we want to write this amount into the total revenue field. And so I'm going to pull this field in. Now, from a user's perspective, it would be kind of repetitive to see this total revenue. So what we're going to do is say, just go ahead and always hide it. But we're going to give it a default value. And that value is going to be the same default value as what the total revenue field is. Okay, so this is just going to be behind the scenes, giving us the value of that calculation so that when we send this through, we capture the information. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Here we are, jumping back over here. All right, so we've got our test organization, 20,000 in regular income, 5,000 in investment, for a total of 27,000 in revenue. Okay. Now remember, we added this field. You can't see it, but it's there. Now if we submit this, it jumps into Airtable. There it is. Test organization for 27,000, which is that total amount. Now you could do the same thing. You could section this out to do total expenses and to also do calculations to show the user net income. But that is the basic way of designing calculations in Fillout. So I hope you enjoyed this quick tip. And if you've got questions, definitely feel free to drop them in the comments. Please do like and subscribe if this was helpful. And I think that's it for now. So I will see you in the next tutorial.